We flood our world with light, believing more is better. But are we blinded to the impact on our oceans?
One of the clearest indications of the changes that we've made to our planet is the view of the dark side of the Earth. So if you go up into the International Space Station, for example, you can really clearly see all the cities and towns brightly lit up. The thing which gives artificial light at night its reach is the sky glow effect.
And this is the collective light from all the street lights in that city shining up into the sky and being scattered by the atmosphere, and then that light reflecting back down to the ground.
Within the water, blue light penetrates to much greater depth than the orange and red lights that we used to light our cities with. And this is giving us cause for concern that even more light pollution is reaching greater depths within the water column.
Back in 2010, hardly any lights in the world were LEDs. Fast forward to today, and more than 80% of the global lighting market is LEDs. And because of their cost effectiveness, what we find is that LEDs are being used in places where previously we never used to use lighting. We see many bridges now in our towns and cities being decorated with LEDs.
Artificial light at night is polluting our seas. We know that around about 22% of global coastlines are impacted by artificial light at night, and that is increasing year on year.
What we see now is more than 200 published impacts of light pollution on marine organisms and marine ecosystems. We're seeing a whole host of different biological processes being impacted, from coral broadcast spawning to the daily migrations of zooplankton, which is the largest upward migration of biomass on the planet. We have worked with many local species to our shores around Plymouth. We see impacts on fish movement and navigation. We see impacts on the ability of organisms to camouflage themselves and the ability of predators to find prey. If you think about any single biological process which relies on light in the sea, that process has been demonstrated to be impacted by artificial light at night.
But artificial light at night pollution is one environmental problem that we can do something about. So where we don't need to use lighting, just turn it off. And actually where we need to use the lighting itself, we can use it in a much more responsible way by making sure that the lighting doesn't spill into areas where we just don't need it. We're right in the middle of the UN Decade on Ocean Science, and one of the actions that they have adopted is action on artificial light at night pollution. This is really raising the profile and also focusing on some of the solutions that we can adopt.
The Global Ocean Artificial Light at Night Network, GOALAN, was founded by the University of Plymouth and Plymouth Marine Laboratory. It's endorsed by the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science. However, there's currently no UK legislation that sets the criteria for good environmental status for light pollution at sea.
And what we would like to see is within vehicles like the Planning and Infrastructure Bill, lighting legislated for.
The solutions are in reach. We know we can dim the lights for our cities and our skies. Let's do the same for our seas.